Hey everybody, welcome back to the Happy on Purpose Project. Sorry it's taken me so long to make another video. I got sick for a while and then spring sprung and I started the garden and then spring unsprung and I had to protect the garden and it's just been a crazy couple weeks. But here we are, and today I'm going to make a video for you about sleep. Can you all hear the chickens? Those are our baby chicks and they smell really bad. Okay, so today we're going to talk about sleep, and this is a huge topic that I could talk a very long time about, but I'm committed to keeping these videos short, so I'm going to try to keep it on topic for this channel, which is about kind of emotional health, and so that's the angle I'm going by. My disclaimer, I'm an herbalist, and as such I cannot diagnose, treat, or prescribe, but I can educate, and so you need to talk to your regular doctor or healthcare provider before making any changes to your health. That's my disclaimer. So let's get to it. Sleep. Okay, I'm going to read you this quote because I think it's really great. It says, "We sleep so that the brain can integrate new knowledge and form new associations. As we must sleep for our brain to continue its function, our body attached dozens of important processes to run in sleep." Do you hear those chicks? As well. In simplest terms, in waking, we use and burn, while in sleep, we restore and synthesize. Sleep affects the function and health of the entire body. I'm going to put a little down here with recommended daily amounts of sleep for different age groups. And let's talk about some of the stats for sleep. In the United States, 35% of adults don't get the recommended amount of sleep. 70% of teenagers don't get enough sleep, which might explain why they're cranky and moody. Insomnia ranks second to the common cold internationally as like most health complaints. Number 2, insomnia. Sleep is the first thing to go for a lot of people. And it's really detrimental to our overall health and our immunity, which is really important when we're talking about coronavirus and things like that, but also to our emotional health, mood swings, things like that. What causes sleep issues? So lifestyle choices, which we'll go over some of those, stress and anxiety. Also, if you snore and you have real trouble sleeping, it's a really good idea to see your doctor and ask for a sleep study, because if you're dealing with something like sleep apnea or another kind of serious medical issue, you're going to want to get that checked out. So lifestyle, how does that affect our sleep? Electric lighting, using alarm clocks, going to bed super late and still getting up super early, our work habits, if you have to do shift work, eating late, things like that can really affect our sleep and our quality of sleep. Our overall health, if we're in pain, obviously that makes it hard to sleep. Stimulant use, coffee and caffeine can really wreak havoc on sleep and quality of sleep. Alcohol, a lot of people like to have drinks at the end of the day to help them relax, but alcohol actually really disrupts your quality of sleep. Taking medications in the evening, even vitamins, if you take B vitamins in the evening, that can make it difficult to fall asleep. Steroids, thyroid medication can be stimulating. Pharmaceuticals, any kind of medication, especially taken later in the afternoon or in the evening, can really disrupt your ability to fall asleep and your quality of sleep. Taking naps during the day, sleeping too long in the day, that's kind of a more common sense one. Watching TV in bed can be stimulating and make it difficult to fall asleep. Using screens, especially if you don't have the blue light filter to turn off those lights that can be overstimulating. Meals, eating about 3 hours before you go to bed. Anytime that 3-hour window before you go to bed can disrupt your sleep. Let's talk about some of the effects of sleep deprivation, and I'll put the little guy down there. Reduced immune function. That's really important considering all the things that are going on right now in the world. Healthy men and women who get fewer than 6 hours of sleep a night are 3 times more likely to catch a common cold than people who get the recommended hours of sleep. So sleep is super important to our immune function. People who get fewer than 6 hours of sleep a night are more likely to crave junk food, which is, again, not good for your immune system, right? If you are trying to boost your immune system, you need to be eating fresh, whole foods, a clean diet. Not getting enough sleep is also linked to an imbalance in blood sugar. That's often related to caffeine intake. So if you're taking stimulants to help you stay awake or to have energy because you're not getting enough sleep, that can lead to blood sugar imbalance, which can lead to obesity and diabetes and all of these other things. So that's not good. There are higher rates of mood swings and cognitive impairment and depression and anxiety in people who do not get the recommended amount of sleep. One of the most important things you can do for self-care is to get enough sleep. It's not sexy, it's not fancy, but it is super, super important. Let's talk about sleep hygiene. It's really important to have a good routine in the evenings. If you do the same things every day, go to bed the same time every night, get up the same time each morning, even on weekends, even when you don't have somewhere to be, having that routine really helps establish a really good sleep pattern. Avoiding eating, like I said, 3 hours before bed. That's going to help your body to focus on rest and relax and not digestion and those other metabolic processes. Avoiding caffeine afternoon or entirely, especially a lot of people are caffeine sensitive and don't realize it. And so cutting back on your caffeine, see if that helps you get some better sleep. You can switch to decaf or you can drink a caffeine-free hot tea. I am a person who loves to have a hot drink all the time, year round. And so, but I'm also caffeine sensitive. So tea is a really great substitute. Try not to have more than one drink at dinner time or after dinner because alcohol, like I said, inhibits sleep. Unplug electronics at least an hour before bed. That means your phone, your computer, your tablet, TV. Kind of get away from those devices about an hour before bed and put that into your nightly routine. You can substitute that with reading a book. I wouldn't read something super intense right before bed. That's not going to help you with sleep. If your intention is to get better sleep, maybe reading something that's a little boring, not that exciting, that's going to help you get a better night's sleep. Setting your devices after the sun goes down to the nighttime setting that filters out the blue light. Not having that blue light filter in front of your eyes is going to help your circadian rhythms. Spend the evening doing relaxing activities. Keep the lights dim. Just chill out. During the day, getting out in the sun and exercising during the day is really great for resetting your circadian rhythms and kind of helping your body's natural clock do what it's supposed to do. Exercising every day, light exercise, even just going for a walk is going to help you sleep better. Exercising the same time every day is going to help again with that routine. And not exercising, especially intense exercising in the evenings or around bedtime. Keep your bedroom cool. I'm a cold-natured person. This was not one that really appealed to me. However, keeping your bedroom cool and piling on blankets or wearing socks to keep yourself warm helps you to sleep. And if you're hot, you can take the socks off or move a blanket. But keeping the bedroom cool helps with sleep. You can wear an eye mask or you can wear earplugs if any kind of stimulation bothers you, if you're a light sleeper or with kids, if you have night lights on in the house, wearing a mask or earplugs is helpful. Doing some deep breathing exercises if you have trouble with relaxing. One of my favorites is you breathe in for a count of 5, you hold for a count of 5, and you exhale for a count of 7 or 8. Having that extended exhale really helps with the relaxation of your neck and shoulder muscles, and that really helps to relax. And you just do a set of maybe 4 or 5 of those, however many you need, until you can physically feel that relaxation taking place. These chickens are cracking me up. Ask your doctor, your healthcare provider, if any of the medications you're taking or supplements could be affecting your sleep. If you struggle with anxiety, if stress is one of the things that's keeping you awake at night, consider trying a weighted blanket. Those have been shown, like the deep pressure have been shown to help with that. I love my weighted blanket. I think it's 10% of your body weight. So if you weigh 120 pounds, the 12-pound weighted blanket is going to be what you're going to need. If thought patterns are something that keep you awake, keep a notebook and a pencil by your bed and write it down. If you're laying in bed and you can't sleep, it's not good to just lay there forever. Get up out of bed, write down whatever is bothering you, keep a journal. get a cup of tea, go sit on the couch and read a book for a little while. Laying in bed and not sleeping is not good sleep hygiene. Eating a diet rich in protein, especially cheese and turkey, those are high in tryptophan, and tryptophan is a precursor to melatonin, so those can help with sleeplessness. Also, you've heard people drinking a warm cup of milk before bed. Milk also has tryptophan, so you can put a little honey in it, warm milk with honey. Tart cherry juice has natural melatonin in it, and those are things that can help you to fall asleep. Melatonin, lots of people take melatonin. They come in different doses, and I want to caution you because our bodies naturally make 0.3 milligrams. 0.3 milligrams. And a lot of the doses I see on bottles is 5 milligrams and 10 milligrams, and there are side effects to taking too much melatonin, including super vivid dreams. People have reported having nightmares, restless sleep. And so if you're taking melatonin and not getting the results that you want, it's possible that you are taking too much. In our family, I have one child in particular who really struggles with sleep and has his entire life. And so we get chewable melatonin tablets that are 1 milligram, and we break them in half. And so that's about 0.5 milligrams per night, and that's good. Sometimes he'll take a whole milligram, but typically it's just 0.5. Okay, so now that we've gone over some of the sleep hygiene and the lifestyle and the diet things, let's talk about herbal supplements that you can take. Before you take any herbs, you should talk to your doctor or an experienced herbalist or other healthcare provider. Herbs are generally very, very safe, but there are some herbs that can interact with medications, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. Herbs behave differently in different people, and so what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. So if you are pregnant or nursing, you need to pay special attention. Again, speak to your doctor or an experienced herbalist or healthcare provider. If you are dealing with depression, sedative herbs can make that worse. And so when looking for herbs to help you with sleep, you want to look more towards relaxing herbs instead of sedating herbs. If you're new to taking herbs, if that's something that's new for you, you be mindful that herbs that help with sleep, some of them are sedating, and so you need to not drink them during the day when you need to be awake and aware. Don't drive until you know how they're going to affect you. Don't drink them before going to work. The same with relaxing herbs. Some of them are more relaxing for some people than others, and so if you haven't taken herbs before, try them out when you don't have anywhere to be, and see how they affect you. Let's talk about herbs. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. So if you're someone who deals with just some kind of mild sleep issues, particularly if it's just chickens, particularly if it's stress related and not an ongoing issue, some relaxing herbs that would be great are like chamomile and lemon balm and catnip and peppermint and things like that. A lot of those teas are easy to find. They're not necessarily sleep teas. They're more of a relaxing tea situation, and you can find those in the grocery store. And a lot of what we're going to talk about, I have several different blends of sleep teas that I got at the store because I wanted to recommend things that would be easy to find. So chamomile is really great. It's a very versatile herb anyway. If you have a stomach ache, like if you're having a hard time sleeping because you're having digestive issues, chamomile is perfect for that. You don't want to oversteep it. If you steep it too long, it gets bitter. The bitter principles help with the stomach ache, but if you want to drink it specifically for its relaxing properties, about 5 minutes is a good time to steep it. So a couple other herbs that are really common in sleep blends are valerian. That's kind of known as the sleep herb. It's in almost every commercial herb blend for sleep that I have found. It's a sedative, and it's one of those herbs that some people do really, really well with valerian, and some people do not do well at all with valerian. I am one of those people who cannot take valerian. So I get it if you can't. And I think a lot of people are turned off of herbs when they take these typical herbs and they don't work for them. Valerian can be very overstimulating for some people, and so it can cause restless sleep and vivid dreams and sometimes nightmares. And so if you are drinking a tea blend and you're having that kind of a reaction, check the box and see which herbs are in it. And if you are struggling with valerian, a good alternative would be like a California poppy or passion flower. Those are often in sleep blends. They're also both sedative. Passion flower is really good for anxiety. If you're having a hard time sleeping because of stress or anxiety, having passion flower in that blend is going to be really good for you. California poppy is a relative to the opium poppy, but not nearly as strong. But it does have those sedative properties, and it's a really great one to kind of get you off to sleep. Skullcap is another one that's really great for like circular thinking and muscle tension from stress. If it's keeping you from sleeping, skullcap is going to be really good for that. It's relaxing, not necessarily sedative. So that's a good one. It's one of my faves. Hops is another herb that's sometimes in a sleep blend. It can be a little bit sedating and it smells terrible, but it gets the job done. If hops you think would be a good fit for you, that's one that might do better in a tincture than in a tea, because it's not very pleasant to smell and it doesn't taste super great. Lavender and rose are both herbs that are very relaxing. I think that lavender can be a bit sedating for some people more than others. It's another one of those herbs, and even the essential oil, that just smelling it is very relaxing. My daughter made a sleep pillow with lavender, and it was like this big, and she had it in her room, and literally everybody who went up in her room was like catatonic from the smell. So that's another herb that would be good that you could put in a tea, or you could put it in a sleep pillow, or even have the essential oil and just maybe make a linen spray and spray it on your pillow before you go to bed, so you're smelling that when you lay on your pillow. Let's talk about different ways to take herbal supplements to help you with sleep. Obviously, we've been talking about herbal teas, and there are several different options at your supermarket, your grocery store, the local Walmart, Kroger, wherever you go. Just go to the tea aisle and grab a couple different kinds. Teas are a really good option. They're very relaxing. Just the act of drinking a warm tea in the evening is a very relaxing thing in and of itself. If it's a fragrant tea, smelling those volatile oils can be very relaxing, and so that can help. One of the downsides, I would say, of drinking a tea, if you drink it too late or if you drink too much, that can keep you up or wake you up in the night if you have issues with having to use the restroom often in the evening. If you go with a tea, I would drink it 30 minutes to an hour before bed. You need to let it steep probably a good 10 to 15 minutes. A medicinal tea, to get the medicinal properties, you're going to steep it a little bit longer than a casual tea that you would drink. Except for the chamomile, which can get bitter if you oversteep it. You could get a tincture at a health food store, or you can order them online. A tincture you'd want to take probably 15 minutes before bed. The benefits of a tincture over a tea is that they get into the blood system faster. They bypass the digestive tract, and so it's going to take effect faster. You could keep the tincture on your bedside table. If you wake in the night, if you have trouble staying asleep all night long, when you wake up, you could take a little bit more of the tincture and then go back to sleep. So that's one of those benefits. Typically, you would put the dose in some water and drink that. So that is also an option. And like I said, there's aromatherapy options that you could use to help sleep. I know that there are some essential oils specifically for sleep, like vetiver and cedarwood and lavender and other options like that. So I hope I've given you some options and some things to think about and some things that you can kind of implement in your daily life. And I'm going to put a screenshot of those here at the end, so you can write those down if you want, or just to remind you. And I hope that you get some benefit from them. And if you have any questions or any feedback you'd like to give me, just leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Go to our Facebook page, like that page. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sleep is super important to our overall health, to our stress levels. Okay, reduced immune function. Listen, healthy men and women who get fewer than 6 hours of sleep are healthy men. People who get fewer than 6 hours of sleep a night often not having that blue light filter. People who get fewer than 6 hours of those chicks. Oh. Okay. Okay. If you do and yeah. Oh, that's been running the whole time. Okay.